Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and in this video we're breaking down The Last of Us. The first look at not only episode 2 but also the weeks ahead is now here, and in this video we're going to be breaking it down. The brand new trailer hints at what's to come and also has lots of brand new scenes to discuss. Throughout this video we'll be going through the Easter eggs and all the things you might have missed. Heavy spoilers ahead though, and we'll also be playing the trailer in the video before getting into the breakdown, so even that might ruin it. So get the hell out of here if you don't want to be in the club. The golf club! With that out of the way though, yeah? Thanks for clicking this one. Now let's get into The Last of Us.
A moth. That probably means change and growth.
No, that would be a butterfly.
So what's a moth?
Death. If you believe in that shit.
Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can come up with a plan.
Let's just do what we came to do. We have automatic weapons.
You lunatics have bows and arrows and superstition. So tell me, how are we going to lose?
Get on the ground!
Every day, one of your wolves comes to see the truth.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want. So what do you want to do?
Jackson, come in. Jackson!
Okay, so the teaser begins with Joel looking over Ellie's arm. This has not only the tattoo, but also her bite mark. In our episode 1 breakdown, we talked about how this tattoo was created by Kat, who came from the lost levels of the game. There was also a photo of her on a board, and she and Ellie had a thing in the past. In episode 1, she made a live action appearance, and I do wonder if we're going to discover more of their past together. Beyond this though, we also have Ellie's bite mark. This is being covered with a chemical burn, which was something she told Dina at the start of part 2.
A chemical burn. I did it myself.
Why?
To cover a bite mark?
That's something that was teased at in season 1, and it looks like they carried it out at some point. Joel says to newcomer character Gale it's like a butterfly, and that it symbolizes change and rebirth. Whoa, taking our job there, mate. He also gives her the guitar that I believe comes from a scene that opens the game. There, Joel told Tommy what happened at the hospital and then rode out to go and see Ellie. Playing her future days, he then gave her the guitar as a gift. The butterfly was present on that, and it somewhat becomes a symbol of Ellie. However, turns out it's not a butterfly, it's a moth. Wish you'd told me that before I released my episode 1 breakdown, Gale, because I look like a right idiot. We later get a close-up of this at 1 minute and 6 seconds, and it's a big part of Joel and Ellie's relationship. Anyway, a moth symbolizes death, and this is why it was used so heavily in things like Silence of the Lambs. There, they even had a death's head moth, which comes with markings that look like a skull. So death is symbolized by it, and obviously, if you know what's coming, then you can see how this applies to the show. Gale and Joel are obviously on shaky grounds as well, as we learn that Joel killed her husband. Though we don't know why this is, the story is that he had to do it. Thus, it's easy to surmise the character was bit. Beyond that though, I actually think that maybe Eugene found out Ellie was immune and Joel killed him to cover it up. In the game, Eugene was also a firefly, so maybe he took issue with Joel murdering his mates. That's a big reach, but Eugene isn't in the game beyond a photo and some notes. So it's possible that they're doing something completely different, like what they did with Bill and Frank. On the drawings of the moth, we also see the line, "You have a great purpose." This is something Ellie's clearly sketched out herself, and it clearly speaks to her mind state. At this point in the story, she was well aware that Joel killed the fireflies. So in her mind, she was supposed to be the savior of humanity, and her life would have meant something. Instead, she's been stripped of being one of the most important people that ever lived because Joel couldn't let another daughter die. Which, to be fair though, you can completely relate to it if you're a parent or just in general, like, yeah, kill them all, mate. The Last of Us was never about what's right or wrong though, and everything's a shade of grey. Still though, this devastates Ellie as she's now stuck somewhere where she doesn't really have a purpose. Humanity will most likely die out because the fungus will forever exist and humans can't really restart civilization. So it's over. Yay! But they look good doing it with things like the moth tattoo and our brand new Last of Us inspired moth shirts. You can buy them with either a design on the front or get a double-sided version with a moth on the front and then the design on the back. Huge shoutouts to Sheridan, who's done an amazing job with both designs. Check him out, I'll link him below. And yeah, go and pick that up, because if you get 2 shirts, you get a 15% discount. Shabow! Anyway, I can't figure out what Gale is reading, but let me know if you know. The bottom line is cut off, but it looks like the top one says Earth. This scene, of course, reflects their therapy sessions, and I do wonder if this may even be a flashback. If he's talking about this tattoo, then it may be from the time that Ellie got it. So potentially, the death here could even signify Eugene, but Gale just doesn't know it yet. Anyway, from here we cut to a snowy mountainside. Camped out here is Abby, who we catch spying on Jackson. We then cut back to the lodge where she and her group are camped at. This is where the team lure Joel back to in the game, and she manages to get a Joel in one. Beside her is not only Owen, but we also have Manny, Nora, and Mel. I did notice that Jordan's been missing from the group, and he wasn't there at the start of episode 1. So it may be possible they've completely cut the character. Nora also has a shaved head, possibly because Teddy Gabriel is playing the main character in Naughty Dog's upcoming intergalactic game. We later see them heading out in the snow, and what I believe is a continuation on from this. Abby gets caught up in a horde, and it's possible that she separates from the rest of her group. In the game, Owen led her to the cliff where they were overlooking Jackson. He wanted to turn back, but she refused because it was so close. So maybe we'll get a similar thing here where she heads in and then sets off the horde that chase her in the game. This includes her climbing up a ladder and also crawling under a fence. The fence scene pulls directly from the game, and it was at the end of this she was saved by Joel, which then led to his ultimate demise. Now on the flip side of this, it looks like we're getting a lot more focus on the Scars and Wolves war that's raging in Seattle. Doing their iconic whistle still haunts my dreams. Now I love how you see a caravan of them and then cut to the WLF. They're basically a militia that's led by Isaac, who you see interrogating a Scar. This scene comes from the game, and it was during this that players were introduced to him. Isaac is once more played by Jeffrey Wright, who was, I think, really underused in the game. So it's great to see him getting some focus here, and I can't wait to see what they do with him. Alongside this, we also see fireflies running through the night in the woods. This is a massive scene in the game in which Abby rescues some Scars who've turned against the group. In doing so, she's turned against hers because both sides are supposed to be at war. They then make a mad dash through the night while infected try and grab them from every side. We also get what I think is Jesse and Ellie in Seattle seeing as a WLF capture one of the Scar kids. Now the Scars are a fundamentalist group that worship a female messianic figure who taught living in harmony with nature. Anything that goes against this as seen as an affront, and she was killed just a couple of years prior. She had a vision of how to live, and the group have followed this since. This is why it says "Feel Her Love" in graffiti, and markings like this were constant throughout the game. From the looks of it, Dina comes across this and is a bit terrified because looks like it's written in blood. We also have a horse dragging a rider, which I believe may come after Ellie and Dina fall into Jordan's trap. There the horse gets killed, and if he's not in the series, then they might alter things, but it's still a big moment where they get separated, so makes sense to still have the horse running off. Might not be that, but they also intercut this with flashbacks of Joel and Ellie. Moving through the woods, we also get the flashback scene on her birthday where they visited the museum. Up top is the gigantic T-Rex statue that Ellie ends up climbing. We also get more of Dina and Ellie's journey, with the former swearing to keep going if she will. At this point in the story, Dina's actually pregnant, so this line could be alluding to her dedication to keep up. We then cut to the part of their journey through Seattle, including them moving through the subways. This is a big part of their early trip, and we see the derailed subway cars and red lighting from the game, which is such good attention to detail. Along with this, we also have some action moments, including Isaac blowing out a match. I do think this builds off the back of the interrogation scene, and it's a really nice touch. This is then coupled by people running through Seattle at night. Initially this looks like 2 people, but zooming in, I think it might be 3. They fall in line, so it's difficult to tell fully just due to how fast this happens, but I'd imagine this is Jesse, Ellie, and also Dina, which makes sense with the story from the game. And from here we cut to the wall outside Jackson, which is swarmed by a horde. This is brand new for the show, and we only really saw things from the patrol's perspective. There we had Joel and Tommy on one side and Ellie and Dina on the other, coupled with Abby of course, who you played at for a bit. However, it looks like Tommy will be at Jackson when the PGA playthrough goes down. So I do wonder if he might blame himself for Joel's death since he wasn't with his brother at the time. We also have Ellie punching a punching bag, which is being held by Jesse. This is all new for the show too, and I'm guessing it's in the aftermath of Joel's death. She's now trying to build her strength up for the journey that lies ahead, and smashing it like the like button. Gonna get swole like Abby. Game Abby, not the show one. In between this, we also have shots of clickers and a scar with a scythe in the forest. This is when she has Abby and Yara captive and they're saved by Lev, which then leads into that forest scene. Along with this, we also have a bloater breaking into Jackson and Tommy standing amongst the horde. The flamethrower gives me a lot of vibes of The Thing, and that was of course also a weapon in the game. It looks like this is going head to head with Tommy, as we later see him fighting against it. We also see Joel in the snow, likely before he rescued Abby, along with Ellie being pulled out of a subway car. This is likely getting swarmed by the infected, and is probably going to be a really close call. We also have a shot of Ellie screaming, and I do wonder if this is something to do with her pregnancy. I have my doubts because it's a very early, but hey, something similar happened in Alien Romulus, which used the actress in a very similar way. Our last shot is then Ellie running while shooting, potentially being chased by the infected, the WLF, maybe even the Seraphites or Scars, or maybe all of them together. Either way, Seattle is a danger zone, and I can't wait to see as we get to that later in the season. Now, we will of course be back to break down episode 2 and all the other entries, so make sure you subscribe for that, and huge thank you for checking out this video. Please hit the thumbs up as well, and drop a comment with your thoughts below on the trailer and what you want to see in the season. Do you want Joel to live? Did you know as well that members of the channel also get early access to videos? If you click the join button, you'll get at least one breakdown a week before anyone else. Costs just 99 cents a month, and huge thank you to everyone who's signed up. It means we just get to focus on doing what we want, don't have to rush out content and cover things just for the sake of getting views, and huge thank you to everyone who's supported us. It really means the world to me and the rest of the team. Now, if you want something else to watch, we've got a breakdown of episode 1 on screen right now. Make sure you watch that, yeah? Not enough of you have watched it, you son of a bitches, 50 minutes long. Might help put you to sleep tonight, so yeah, free insomnia cure there as well. And thanks for checking out this one. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.